Hey, Seminole State family. Thou art smart if thou do art. Do you want to have a period on the end of that sentence, an exclamation point, or a question mark? Let's duke it out.
What is Research Rally?
Learn with Librarians. Get campus info. Connect with your Seminole State family.
Every Wednesday at 4 p.m. at Seminole State Lab on YouTube.
Hello.
We're here. Happy birthday.
We're here. Yes, Seminole State family. Today is Information Jason's birthday. He's our birthday librarian. I'm Nicole from the library. You've seen me before, and I'm like out here being like, you can't smell smart. I can't use proper grammar or speak correctly, but you can't spell smart without art. And we also have another familiar face.
Ross, that's you.
Me?
That's you.
Yes, hi, Ross here. You also can't spell Martin without art.
And we have some awesome guests with us today on today's show. Ember and Sophia, Art Club president and member. Shout out to Ember and Sophia.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. So yes, it's Wednesday. It's 4 p.m. It's at Seminole State Lib on YouTube. We are going live with Research Rally. And we do this every week, folks. Okay, so just come on back and give us likes, shares, subscribes. Okay. And today we're digging into is art academic. Now, on the little video description, we asserted a claim that yes, in fact, spoiler alert, it is academic. It does support academics. So we're going to back that up, talk about a little bit of data and work through a little bit of that. We're also today going to talk about some of our experiences with art or data or little anecdotes about art and academics. And we're going to, what else were we going to do? We're going to plug some art club stuff, right, ladies? We're definitely going to do that. And Jason, since it's your birthday, someone brought you a gift. Did you open your gift yet?
Yes, that someone is Nicole. That's you. I haven't opened it yet, but it's here, and I'll get to it.
Okay.
The big reveal at the end of the showgram.
Yep, at the showgram. And that's copyrighted by Information Jason Amfinson, everybody. So
yes.
Just remember that if you're going to use it.
Thank you.
Okay. So one of the things that...
Wait, hold on. Ross, where's your hat? Nicole and I have hats. Where's your hat?
This is sort of a hat. It's like a reverse hat.
Understood. That lighting, by the way, he's got some kooky lighting going on there.
It's the worst.
What did you do differently today?
It's like in the rain.
It's the glare.
Ah.
But why is it different today? I feel like we go live at the same time every week.
The sun moves around the earth at different intervals throughout the year, and I think we've reached a point where it's just bad.
You're smart. And that reminds me that on April 8th, the moon is going to go across the sun for a total eclipse. And we're going to do a live stream with the planetarium for that. So just like shout out to that. Okay, that's in the future. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so when Information Jason, we were talking about, let's talk about art. He sent us some links. And here's 10 arts education fast facts. So this is like Americans for the Arts. It's an organization, obviously. If I want to know more about it, like we always tell our students and library patrons, hey, go to the bottom, look at the About Us. Ross, what are some of the other ways that we decipher like what the organization is about or why we might trust or not trust them?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the first thing I do is I go to the About page. I want to see who's responsible for this content, what kind of reputation the organization might have in the field, like what other publications they put out. Basically, because I want to trust the information. I mean, before I go anywhere, I want to make sure that like I think this is valid stuff.
Okay, so narrowing in, let's look at this if we can't read it. It's number 2. Students who take 4 years of arts and music classes score an average of over 150 points higher on the SAT than students who take only 1 half year or less. So among these 10 facts asserting that yes, arts do affect academics positively. So Ross, an interesting thing happened when you investigated this number 2 on the list.
Well, yeah. So if you were to look at that source, one of the things that I think is really important is being able to trace back a claim. It's part of the whole SIFT method thing, which you might hear about in your IDS class. But one of the things that caught my eye is that they do have sources here. That's a great sign. I love to see, just verifiable evidence for these claims. But what was interesting is when you look at their source, the link doesn't work.
Oh, maybe it hasn't been updated. Does it have a date, Ross, when it was published?
Yeah, it looks like it's 2016 based on just the URL.
8 years.
And when you go to that link, it didn't work anymore.
Is it going to crash me?
I don't think it's going to crash you, but it's going to do that.
Okay.
So now it puts us in the predicament of, do we just trust that evidence if I can't see it myself, right? Mm-hmm. So my strategy was I went back and tried to find that evidence somewhere.
Right.
Yep. Here's one of them. Here's the first source that you found.
That is one of them. That is that's not the exact source that we found, but that is a source that also provides evidence for their claim. What it tells me, if you were to dig through that source, I think it was on like page 39 or something of that one. Mm-hmm. This was actually a dissertation that somebody did, and what they found is that there is a relationship between arts education and standardized test scores. It was
Yep. I found it also on 98. I went to the implications, which is kind of like conclusions. Yeah, that's where I went on this particular source. I can't get that any right. Yeah. So the aspect of the study demonstrated that 1 year of required fine arts was not enough. 1 year was not enough to significantly impact. Okay, but additional time was enough. Mm-hmm.
And that additional time on the previous thing, which did not work, stated 4 years. So, right. And so just for our students here, how many years have you taken art classes?
Yeah, if you've taken art classes, let us know.
Or terms. How many terms has it been?
Mm-hmm. I'm in my second term of taking art classes. I haven't taken art classes in college, but I took them through elementary, middle, and high school.
Okay. So if we added those up, there's got to be 4. Now, to go back to just the broken link, did that say 4 college years?
So yes, there are nuances, all the different variables in the data. So this is why we have to dig in. And this is why when we're even showing you, hey, we want to prove this point, we can't do it in 2 split seconds. There are different variables. Also, Ross, you mentioned the difference between correlation and causal evidence. Like, does art education cause higher SAT scores, or is it correlated to SAT scores? Can you break that down a little bit?
So what's interesting is that data that was cited on that page that said that 4 years of art education leads to better SAT scores, and they're not wrong. That is verifiable evidence. I was able to find that study. That evidence exists. Actually, another study that was done kind of to try to prove that, they also found that there was a relationship there. But then that same researcher did another study, and what they found basically is they couldn't prove a causal relationship. Now that's pretty common. Like, proving that something causes another thing requires a lot of data, just a lot of evidence, right?
Like, Ross, we were both born in the 80s and we both got master's degrees.
Right. So that's a correlation,
not causal. Just because. Right. Just
because we were born in the same decade doesn't have anything to do with the fact that we both ended up in graduate school for library science.
By the way,
there is a relation.
A couple days after Jason's birthday. Yeah. So tomorrow is Ross's birthday. Saturday is mine. Oh. Shout out.
Aquarius.
Of course, I'm over here interrupting. So Ross, go back to your thought if you still have it at all.
Well, that's just, what it boils down to is that we can't say that taking art classes will cause you to do better on the SATs because of a lot of different variables. I mean, there's also another study we looked at that says that the students who take art classes, well, they already tend to do better on a lot of metrics. So maybe that there's just a relationship there between, People who take art classes already are going to do better on the SAT. They don't know that. They can't say for sure, but what they can say for sure is that as people take more art classes, their test scores seem to improve, and those two things are related to each other. But we can't say that they cause one another, if that makes sense.
And Ross, was there one of the other studies that we want to talk about really quick before, what you had sent me a couple links. Did you have them up?
Sure, I can share this one real quick. I thought it was kind of interesting. This is another study that was done, a year after that, where they looked at the SAT scores from high schools and arts and non-arts high schools. And if you were to scroll through that one, they found very similar findings. It seems like the students from the art-focused schools, like I have a charter school in my town that's a performing arts school. It seems like those schools in general produced better SAT results. But again, they couldn't say that it caused it.
Right.
That makes sense.
And so just to go back to that broken link on number 2, clearly that would have to be K through 12 because that's only when you're taking the SATs.
Right.
You don't need to take them after you get into college. But, some of the other things to deviate slightly here is that, art is very tied in closely with art therapy and healing and emotional wellness. Take, for example, a hospital. I dare you, double dog, triple dog, dare you to go to a hospital anywhere in the world and not find artwork. Why? Because it's there to help soothe, to be a source of healing for a patient, but also for the folks who are caring for the patients as well. Many famous artists donate their fine works to hospitals and care centers for that reason. So keep that in mind too, as we're talking about, not only SAT success for students, and of course this is for students at Seminole State watching this broadcast, but for whole wellness and for we advocate lifelong learning. And Nicole and I have been talking pretty much all day, along with Ross, about what are the variations of art. And I always mention to students, if you're writing a term paper, if you're recording and presenting a speech, think about it and follow this train of thought. Did that speech exist before you gave it? Was it written before you wrote it? It was not. It never is. So you're producing that new knowledge, and that new piece of knowledge is your contribution to the scholarship, and i.e. that is art. It is a piece of art. It is there. It is something that wasn't there before, and it is manifested based on your unique point of view. So and you have to just kind of slightly, Nicole, change how you view it. I talked about a home run could be a work of art. A slam dunk can be a work of art. Same as, a poetry slam, or the same thing as a improvised musical jam. So you just have to kind of widen your scope.
And that's creation. So you're creating something that didn't exist before. You're conceiving of it abstractly, meaning not concretely. Like you can't feel it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it, but it's there. It's abstract, and then you're encapsulating it. Now, I want to point out this concept of abstraction really quick, because I think this is an important tie-in for what art enables you to do, or kind of conditions you to do, and how it transfers to other disciplines. Okay, so I have a little banner at the bottom. So this is a few different ways of saying great. So if it's great period, great exclamation point, also GR8. These are different symbols and different ways of saying the same thing. And I had to put, Jason, you put your little great on my notes. So yes, great. That's a whole different word. So we have these symbols that show this. Now, GR8 is a more abstract way of showing what is great. Jason, if I asked you to paint a painting showing me what is great, are you going to paint the word great on it, whether it's great, GREAT, or GR8? No. What are you going to do? Like, what are some of the ways you might communicate great?
Well, I think, Nicole, that would be my subjective interpretation of what great means, right? And so I think that's the beauty, and I see Amber's shaking her head. I mean, that's the beauty of what it is. It's the interpretation, and that's the artist. The artist's job is to produce the art, and the viewer's job is to interpret it. You don't have to correlate. You don't have to ask the movie director, well, what did the ending of your movie mean? That's up to you. That's your interpretation.
When Ross and I, who were grew up in the 80s, when we were doing our homework in the 80s, before we could read, our teachers would put fun little stickers because everything we did was on paper. This
I
was
missed
before
the
internet, guys.
stickers.
I know. So great. This sticker, for an example of an 80 sticker for homework, it says the word, but there's images communicating the essence of great, and it's an abstraction of great. Okay, the star is great. The thumbs up is communicating great. The smile, the wink. That smile is kind of creepy, but we'll take it. We'll take it. So again, art enables you to think in ways to communicate messages abstractly, like creatively, like that doesn't exist before. Like you said, you have artistic license. If I asked you to do a painting of great, Jason, you might paint like something you think is great, but something I don't think is great. But it's abstract things. Yes.
It might be over the head. You might be hitting the nail on the head. I might be painting Alexander the Great. I mean, again, it's an interpretation of what that is. What if the person doesn't even speak the language and understand what the word great means? Then what are they supposed to paint? So it really does get really subjective. So
yeah, art is about communicating messages in more abstract ways, and then all the disciplines incorporate abstract thought, math, science. You have to think creatively, basically think between the lines. Ember and Sophia, what do you like to create?
Let's get you. Get on the mic.
You wanna? Oh my gosh. Okay. I just do a lot of drawings, traditional art kind of thing. I do a lot of little character designs of my own. I do self-portraits kind of thing, or just portrait drawings in general. That's kind of like what I like to do.
And Ember, we know what you like to do, but go ahead and share with us. What's your favorite?
I draw a lot of mushrooms. I really like colorful artwork that kind of like captures your eye. So when people see that, they're obviously drawn to it because it's very bright and colorful and abstract. So that's kind of what my art is like.
And as president, and then also Sophia as a member of the art club, a lot of students, if they come into the library, if they want to find you or talk to you or are interested in the art club, they can find you on the first floor of the library is one place, right, that you might be. We have a art area. How often do you do art down there? I know Lunchberry, yes, on Wednesdays, and Nightberry on Wednesdays, of course, but any other times?
So I'm there on Nightberries, but I know today they were actually having an archery paint party there. So people kind of just stop by whenever, I'd say, but I'm usually there Wednesday nights.
Yeah, and that's opened up the scope. Thank you, Ember. We had the archery club come over and do paintings for some targets that they're going to be shooting their arrows at. That's great. That happened organically. The art club and the art area, you have two options if you're creating art here in the Sanford Lake Mary Library. One, you could take it home and put it up on your parents' refrigerator, or two, you could leave it on our makeshift art wall, which became organically, and we've been curating that and culling it as it goes. But this is all organic, and this all is kind of the irony of what we're talking about. Well, it's abstract. We didn't plan it. We didn't say everything art must be art and the do. It just happens organically. Today it was all rocks. Everyone was rock painting. We didn't even realize we still had more rocks to paint, and it was a big hit. So people were really into that.
I have the Radar Connect website. If any of the students that watching and interested don't know, go to Google Radar Connect. Ours will pop up first on most browsers, or Seminole State Radar Connect. You can find the Seminole State Student Art Club on here and see their upcoming events. This would also be one of the ways you could contact to join the club or questions. Is that right, Ember?
Yes. So you can find us on Radar Connect, but you can also find us on our Discord, which the link is on our flyers, which I think we have a few around campus, but that should also be located in the bio of our Radar Connect. So we're mostly active over there, where you'll get announcements about club meetings and upcoming events.
Okay, perfect.
Are you, Ember, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. If you don't have the answer, let me know. Are you folks doing the field trip that we talked about, or is that not happening?
We are definitely working on it. We've got a rough idea right now, so we might be doing a museum trip this semester.
Yay!
So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We're still trying to plan it. It's in the works, but that's definitely an idea for the semester.
Very cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
So for the beginning part of the show, Ross and I and Jason, we sifted through some data and we did model some of the practices. I always have to shout out what librarians do.
No, who's mango flavor? Who's mango flavor?
All right, nobody sing Jason the birthday song because I think it is still copyrighted, and we don't want a copyright claim or strike on this channel.
Thank you, Mango Flavor. I appreciate that, Mango Flavor.
So we were sifting, we were stopping and investigating further on our sources. We were also finding that
Mango Flavor
research was, we were going to have to do a lot more work to really get some solid information, and that's normal. And we want to model that process for our students and everybody that's watching today. But in addition to data from research studies and peer-reviewed journal articles available in the library databases, we might have some anecdata, which are anecdotes, not from research studies, from our own personal experiences. Who wants to be first to share an anecdote of their personal experience with how art improved their academics or someone that they know's academic life?
Well, I'll go. I mean, I did a study abroad. I mean, that we were just talking about a field trip, getting out and seeing the art in a space that, is made for that thing of showcasing is life-changing. So I went to Florida State University. They had a study center in London. So we went over to London and did our study abroad. And then we took day trips to various countries. Paris was one of them. If you've ever heard of the Louvre in Paris or the d'Orsay, I prefer the d'Orsay rather than the Louvre, but that's me. You're in another world. You're in a time machine. You're transported back to that time, not only with the painter or the sculptor, but with the people who were there, meaning the people in the pictures. So if you just think of it in those concepts, that really does, again, open the scope of like, where am I? Take Renoir, for example. There's many people in a Renoir painting, right? It's sometimes it's a portrait, it's one person, but usually there's many, or Lautrec, there's many people. The Moulin Rouge, paintings where they're all kind of dancing in the clubs and everything. You're there. Like you're there, you're in the painting, you're seeing what's going on. You're time traveling back to Moulin Rouge days in France.
So it put you in the place of a different time in history. So therefore it opened up your mind to thinking more.
How was it like that? How was it like that then?
So you could more understand the concept. So think abstractly about like what it would be like in a different time frame.
What was nightlife back then? Where did they eat? Where did they go? They didn't have, fast food restaurants. Did they all drive there? How did they get there? Where did they live? Did they all live around the corner? I mean, these are just questions that come off the top of
I got an anecdota. My anecdota is my son, who just recently turned 12, has been taking drum lessons for like 5 years. And he has better focus in school. He's gotten better in school at being able to complete coursework and whatnot. And he actually he's in a band at the school. He takes lessons, and I got to show off, proud mom. They just won Battle of the Bands for the Bacharach Music School. Not a sponsor yet.
Okay. Work on it.
Amber and Sophia, do you have any anecdotes about how art helped your academic life?
Yeah, so back in high school, I was taking an astronomy class, and my teacher was also the president of the watercolor club. And so through my life, I knew I wanted to do astronomy as a career, but I never thought I could combine it with art. And so he kind of taught me that you can do art and science at the same time. So that kind of helped my academics, because I realized I could do both things that I love, and art can kind of help me with my journey through astrophysics.
Yeah, I've never really thought about it helping me with my academics, but it's definitely like helped me unwind after like a day of school, or like even like during classes, I'll do a couple of drawings just to kind of like distract for a minute, or like even help me focus in like the lessons and the lectures. Because I know there is research out there where like drawing while listening to lectures does help you focus more, and I would say that is the case for me.
Nice. So again, I'm talking about some of our information literacy terms. Anecdata, and I want to say Claire A. Miller, one of our librarians that was on last week's show. That's the first time I ever heard that word said, so I got to give props to her. That anecdata, from anecdotes of personal experiences that we or people we know have, or someone tells us about, that aren't part of a research study, but they do inform some data points about a topic. We might not be able to cite them in a paper as empirical evidence that, yes, we can prove that art is academic because Ember and Sophia and Jason and Nicole and Ross say so. But again, it does inform on the topic. So, okay. All right. Oh, let's look at my list here. Let's look at my list. Oh, Jason birthday hall reveal.
Oh, the birthday hall reveal.
Oh,
okay, where is it?
Someone's showing up for that. Someone else showed up just now.
I think it's a bunch of our library assistants who are all playing me like a piano. I think that's what it is.
All right, no, this is awesome. Okay, so.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Ross, I haven't found your present yet, but I'm still waiting. We have until midnight, JK. All right, so this was great, Nicole. Thank you for the wrapping paper. This is great. Oh, wow. What is all this? Oh, I got new balloons. Foil balloons. What does this spell, Nicole? Should I say it?
Well, can you figure it out?
J-T-J. Does it say Jason? There's 4 of them. Oh, information Jason? I-J.
There's an I and a J in there.
Do we have enough time for me to figure out this riddle? There's an I.
What personality type are you?
Oh, INTJ. Oh, that's me. Okay, thank you. I am an INTJ Aquarius. I'm the rare breed of. Okay, great. Okay, and then there's some candies in here. Squishy. Oh, a squishy ball.
It's a blind. It's a blind bag. You're supposed to open it up and show everybody what you got.
Okay. All right. Blind bag.
You hear that crinkle of the packaging? This is so ASMR right now. Yep, you gotta crinkle it. Great job.
Oh, it's a shark. Thanks, Nicole, for the shark. Okay. Oh, there's more. A giant thing of cookies. A 10-pack of cookies. Thank you, Nicole.
What kind of cookies, though? Tell everybody.
They're vegan cookies. They're vegan white macadamia chocolate flavored soft baked cookies from those 2 guys that have their pictures on the cookies.
That is like the only thing at Walmart that's vegan. I'm just letting you guys know. And they're hiding it, and it's not in the food section.
I got my own laser pointer now, thanks to Nicole. Thank you, Nicole. I got a happy birthday necklace. Oh, I'm going to wear this to Library. Oh, there's 3 of them? Okay. Oh, and I got a shirt. Oh, what's a shirt? Oh, look at this, Ember. It's a planetarium shirt.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a wolf. Oh, this shirt is awesome. Look at this shirt.
So you.
Yay, I could rock this. Thanks, Nicole. I'm Wolf. And then I got one more bag here. I hope this is great viewing for the people watching us.
People spend hours and hours of their lives watching people open stuff. So
okay, well, I got another bag here. Hold on, I got a shark. I got one shark before, and now it's ooh, there's an airplane.
Oh, an airplane.
I got the airplane and the shark and the INTJ. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. All right, happy birthday, Jason. Copyrighted. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining us today. Again, this is what we do every Wednesday at 4 p.m. We talk about information literacy stuff, librarian-y stuff, academic-y stuff, but then we also incorporate the community. Like we had our wonderful guests, Ember and Sophia, here today. Where's my little thank you on them? Oh, I have a welcome. I have a welcome, but I don't have a thank you. So welcome and thank you, Ember and Sophia, for joining us today. Remember, the Art Club. You can go to Raider Connect to link up with the Art Club. You can also find some of their flyers and information, or you can write your email down in a binder if you're old school like that, in our art corner that's on the first floor of the library. Okay? All right. And am I forgetting anything? Oh, by the way, Roy Lyon is the defender of the Loft. And if you didn't know, the Loft is my old office, which is now we're experimenting with it as a public space, like for students, faculty, staff, anyone that needs a spot to go get help from a librarian. You can come into that space. Roy will give his seat away. We told him, look, if someone comes in there to do homework and research, you got to let them in your seat. And it's right by Jason and Ross's office, so it's a great place to hang out with librarians and get help, research help, or find a quiet spot. Yeah, I mean, what else about it? Like, I don't know, ask us about it. Like, don't post up in there and like take a nap and like, set up a blow-up mattress or anything. Please.
No, come study. Do your studying in the aquarium. It's up on the second floor of the SLM library. Yeah, come through.
All right.
And thank you to all of our library assistants for getting on the chat and being active viewers and watchers. They're really having a great time for my birthday. Hey, who's that guy?
Jason.
Oh, and Nicole, I was supposed to talk about my art. There's my art. Okay, great.
Oh, if you want to know about Jason's art, come to the library and ask him about his art.
There we go. All right. Don't forget, Ross's birthday tomorrow, and then Nicole's birthday later this week. Here we go. The age of Aquarius.